My child, listen to me carefully. You did not arrive at this moment by accident. There is a reason these words are reaching you now. You may not understand it yet, but something has been happening beneath the surface of your life that you could not see. You have been waiting. You have been praying. You have been wondering when something would finally change. And there were moments when the silence became so heavy that you started asking yourself whether your prayers were even being heard. But they were. I heard the prayers you spoke out loud, and I heard the ones you could only carry inside your heart. I saw the nights when you were exhausted but still tried to believe. I saw the mornings when you got up and continued even though you had very little strength left. I saw the disappointments you never explained to anyone. I saw the tears you wiped away before anyone could notice. And I want you to understand something from the very beginning. None of that was invisible to me. You may have felt forgotten, but you were never forgotten. You may have felt delayed, but you were never denied. You may have thought your story had become stuck, but I was working in places you could not see. Sometimes I allow a season to remain quiet because I am preparing something deeper than the answer you are asking for. You were looking for a change around you. I was beginning a change within you. You were asking me to open a door. I was preparing you to walk through it. You were asking me to remove the struggle. I was building a strength in you that the struggle could never take away. That is why the process took longer than you expected. It was not because I stopped caring. It was because I was doing more than you could see. And now I want you to stop measuring your future by what happened in your past. The season that hurt you does not have authority over the season that is coming. The people who rejected you do not get to define your worth. The doors that close do not determine every door that will ever open. And the mistakes you made do not cancel the purpose I placed inside you. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still capable of believing. And that means the story is still being written. If this word is speaking directly to your heart, take a moment and type Amen in the comments. Let it be your simple declaration that you are choosing faith instead of fear. And if you want more messages and prayers like this, subscribe to the channel and stay connected. We will continue seeking God together. Now let your heart become still. There is something you need to release. You have been carrying questions that were never meant to become permanent burdens. Why did they leave? Why did that door close? Why did the opportunity disappear? Why did the answer take so long? Why did something you prayed for seem to move farther away instead of closer? You may never understand every detail. But you can trust the one who sees the entire picture. What looked like a closed door may have protected you from a future that was not meant for you. What looked like rejection may have redirected you. What looked like delay may have kept you from receiving something before you were ready to carry it. And what looked like loss may have created room for something healthier to grow. I know it did not feel that way while you were living through it. There were moments when you wanted an explanation more than anything else. But sometimes the answer does not come first. Sometimes transformation comes first. Sometimes God changes the person before changing the circumstances. And that is what has been happening inside you. You are not the same person you were before the storm. You have learned things pain could only teach you. You have developed discernment. You have become more careful with your heart. You have learned the difference between attention and genuine love. You have learned that not every open door is a good door. You have learned that peace is more valuable than approval. And you have learned that your strength does not come from having everything under control. It comes from knowing where to place what you cannot control. That is growth. That is preparation. That is evidence that the difficult season did not destroy you. It developed you. There were days when you thought you were simply surviving. But even then, something was being built inside you. Your faith was becoming deeper. Your character was becoming stronger. Your heart was learning endurance. Your eyes were learning to see beyond what was immediately in front of you. And now you are beginning to understand why some things had to happen differently than you wanted. I am not saying every painful thing was good. I am saying I can bring good from what was painful. I can take what was meant to discourage you and use it to strengthen you. I can take a closed chapter and turn it into wisdom. I can take a broken place and make it a source of compassion. I can take what once made you cry and eventually make it part of the testimony you use to encourage someone else. Nothing surrendered to God is wasted. That is why you do not have to be ashamed of your story. You do not have to hide every scar. You do not have to pretend that the difficult years never happened. They happened. But they do not own you anymore. Your past can explain where you have been without controlling where you are going. And now I am teaching you to look forward again. For a long time, you may have been afraid to hope. Hope felt dangerous because disappointment had taught you to expect less. You stopped dreaming. You stopped asking. You lowered your expectations so that you would not have to feel the pain of another unanswered prayer. But I am restoring that part of you. You are allowed to hope again. You are allowed to believe that your life can become peaceful. You are allowed to believe that good relationships can exist. You are allowed to believe that purpose is still ahead of you. You are allowed to believe that one difficult chapter does not determine the entire book. And you are allowed to believe that I can do something you cannot yet imagine. There are things I have been preparing that you could not have arranged for yourself. There are connections you have not met yet. There are opportunities you have not seen yet. There are lessons you have not learned yet. There are doors that have not opened yet. Do not assume that because you cannot see them, they do not exist. You see today. I see the whole road. You see the delay. I see the destination. You see what was lost. I see what can still be built. You see the empty space. I see what can grow there. So stop allowing yesterday to make decisions about tomorrow. The chapter has changed. And you are changing with it. Some people may not recognize the person you are becoming. That is okay. You were never called to remain the same simply to make other people comfortable. There are relationships that may no longer fit the person you are becoming. There are habits that cannot follow you forward. There are fears that must be left behind. There are voices you must stop allowing to define you. And there are doors you must stop trying to reopen simply because they once meant something to you. Not everything that ended needs to be restored. Some endings are protection. Some separations create space for healing. Some goodbyes are the beginning of freedom. Do not chase what God is asking you to release. Let it go with peace. You do not need revenge. You do not need to prove yourself. You do not need everyone to understand what God is doing in your life. Your responsibility is to walk forward. Let me handle what is behind you. There is also a new strength coming into your life. Not the kind of strength that makes you feel invincible. The kind that gives you peace even when everything is not yet settled. The kind that lets you say, I do not understand this, but I trust God. The kind that allows you to sleep without having every answer. The kind that allows you to move forward without knowing every detail. That is the strength I am building in you. And when you have that kind of peace, circumstances lose some of their power over you. You no longer need everything around you to be perfect before your heart can be steady. You begin to understand that peace is not always found after the storm. Sometimes peace is found while you are still walking through it. And that is where I am meeting you. Not only at the destination. Here. Right where you are. In the middle. In the unfinished part. In the place where you still have questions. You do not have to become perfect before you come to God. You do not have to fix everything before you pray. You do not have to hide your weakness. Bring it. Bring the fear. Bring the disappointment. Bring the confusion. Bring the dreams you are afraid to dream again. Bring all of it. And surrender it. Because you were never designed to carry everything alone. There is a new chapter forming. And it will require you to trust differently. You will not be able to control every detail. You will not know every answer in advance. You will not always understand why one door opens while another closes. But you can walk forward knowing that God is not leading you blindly. He knows where He is taking you. And He knows what you will need when you arrive. So breathe. Release the pressure. Stop trying to force what only God can arrange. Stop measuring your progress against someone else's timeline. Your journey has its own timing. Your life has its own process. Your story does not need to look like anyone else's to be meaningful. What matters is that you remain faithful to the path God is placing in front of you. And something beautiful happens when you stop fighting every closed door. You begin to notice the open ones. You begin to recognize opportunities that you would have missed while chasing what was already gone. You begin to see peace where you once saw emptiness. You begin to recognize that God was not taking everything away. He was making room. Making room for healing. Making room for wisdom. Making room for purpose. Making room for a life that is not built around constantly recovering from yesterday. That is the restoration I want for you. Not simply more possessions. Not simply more opportunities. But a restored heart. A clear mind. A steady spirit. Healthy relationships. Purposeful work. And the courage to walk into what God has prepared. Your greatest days are not automatically behind you because you have experienced difficult years. Do not make that mistake. The fact that you have suffered does not mean you have been disqualified. The fact that you have failed does not mean your calling disappeared. The fact that you became tired does not mean your purpose ended. Sometimes the person who has been through the deepest valley carries the strongest testimony when they finally reach the mountain. You have learned how to keep walking. Now you are learning how to walk with peace. You have learned how to survive. Now you are learning how to live. You have learned how to endure. Now you are learning how to receive. And that transition may feel unfamiliar. But do not be afraid of it. You do not have to remain in survival mode forever. You can breathe again. You can dream again. You can laugh again. You can trust again. You can wake up without expecting something terrible to happen. You can believe that tomorrow does not have to repeat yesterday. And most importantly, you can trust that God has not finished His work in you. There will be moments ahead that remind you why you had to wait. There will be moments when something finally makes sense. There will be moments when you look back and realize that the thing you desperately wanted was not actually the thing you needed. And there will be moments when you quietly say, "Now I understand." Until then, keep walking. Keep praying. Keep your heart soft. Do not allow disappointment to turn into bitterness. Do not allow betrayal to make you incapable of love. Do not allow delay to convince you that nothing good is coming. And do not allow one difficult season to become your identity. You are more than what happened to you. You are more than what you lost. You are more than what someone said about you. You are more than your worst mistake. You are a life still being shaped by God. And there is still purpose ahead. So today, release the need to understand everything. Release the fear of tomorrow. Release the people you cannot change. Release the doors that will not open. Release the version of yourself that believes you must carry everything alone. And make room for peace. Make room for faith. Make room for the new. Because the same God who kept you through your hardest season can lead you into your most meaningful one. The same hands that held you when you were weak can guide you when the door finally opens. The same voice that gave you strength to continue can give you wisdom for what comes next. And the same love that found you in your brokenness will not abandon you in your restoration. So lift your head. Your story is not finished. Your purpose is not gone. Your future is not closed. The waiting did not destroy you. The storm did not define you. The rejection did not erase you. The loss did not have the final word. God does. And His work in your life is still unfolding. Walk forward without fear. Walk forward with humility. Walk forward with faith. Do not demand that tomorrow look exactly the way you imagined. Simply trust the one who sees further than you can see. Let this be the moment you stop looking only at what went wrong and begin watching for what God is doing now. Let this be the moment you stop calling yourself forgotten. Let this be the moment you stop calling yourself finished. Let this be the moment you allow hope to breathe again. Because there is still more ahead. More healing. More wisdom. More purpose. More peace. More life. And whatever God is beginning in you, He is capable of carrying it through. So rest tonight knowing this. You were seen. You were heard. You were never alone. And you are not walking into the future by yourself. God is with you in what is coming, just as He was with you in what has already passed. Let your heart rest in that truth. The chapter behind you taught you. The chapter before you will reveal what those lessons were preparing you for. And this time, you will not walk forward as the person who entered the storm. You will walk forward as the person who came through it. Stronger. Wiser. Softer where it matters. Stronger where it is needed. And closer to God than before. Amen.